Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now let's see about the packages, for other things. In our today's video, we're gonna see about the access modifiers. Let us see it. What is an access modifier? The access modifier in Java specifies the accessibility or the scope of a field, method, constructor, or a class. We can change the access level of the field, constructor, method, and a class by applying the access modifier in it. What do you mean by this? It means that whenever you're creating a program, you can you can give the accessibility of that particular program to only particular classes, to only particular constructor, to only particular methods, or to a particular field. So the scope of using that particular variable or method or a constructor in that particular program depends on your access modifiers. So here you have four access modifiers. One is private, default, protected, and public. So there's a chart given below here. Private, if you're going to use a private access modifier, if you're going to use that particular method, constructor, or variable in that class, then it is an yes. That is, it is going to give you an output. If you're going to use it within a package, then you're not going to get any output. If you're going to use it outside the package by a subclass only, then there is no output. And if you're going to use it outside the package, then also there is no output, which means that if you're going to give a private access modifier to any of your program or to any of your variable method or a constructor or a class inside that particular field, then you have to access it only inside that particular class. The second one is default. Default is an yes within the class. Within the package also you're going to get the output, but outside the package by the subclass or outside that particular package, even if it is not the subclass, then you're not going to get the output. Next is protected. Protected, you will be getting the output within the class, within the package, and outside the package if it is a subclass only. Now you can question me, ma'am, like if you're going to have a private not giving the access, then how come protected is going to give you an access? If I'm going to give you a simple example, like you have your father and there is a son. Like the father, if he has protected some of his property, then that property will be given to his son. Will that be protected property? Will be accessed by his son. Now the father is the main class and the son is the subclass. Now the subclass can have the access of that particular protected variable or a protected method. That is, you are going to get the output if it is outside the package, but if it is the subclass of that particular class. Next is public, that is, you're going to get the output for all the things. Within the class, yes. Within the package, yes. Outside the package, yes. Outside the package, even if it is not a subclass, also you're going to get the output. There are four types of access modifiers. Private, the access level of private modifier is only within the class. It cannot be exceeded from outside the class. Default, the access level of the default modifier is only within the package. It cannot be accessed from outside the package. If you do not specify any access levels, it will be default. Point to be remembered. Protected. The access level of the protected modifier is within the package and outside the package through the child class. If you do not make the child class, it cannot be accessed from outside the package. Done. Public. The access level of the public modifier is everywhere. It can be accessed from within the class, outside the class, within the package, outside the package, everywhere you can access it. First one, private access modifier is accessible only within the class. Now you have a simple example over here, class A, private int data. Now you can see that the data member of the class A, that is int data, it is made private. And whereas the method also that is there, that is also made as private. That is system.out.print hello hello Java. Now here we have created another class. If you see towards right hand side, public class simple, and we have created a new object of that class, and we have called that obj.data. Whereas if you're not going to use the private there and if you're going to use public, you're going to get the output of that obj.data. But here we have used private, so that is the reason it is going to give us compile time error. Why? Because it is under the class simple. We have to have the main method under the class A to get the output of this particular program. Now I want you guys to try this program and do tell me the results in the comment section, and also some other programs if you want you can try them, and also you can tell what are the difficulties you got when you were creating the program or writing the program, or what are the difficulties you got when you were running the program. The next one we are going to see is the default access modifier. If you don't use any modifier, it will be treated as default by default. The default modifier is accessible only within the package. It cannot be accessed from outside the package. It provides more accessibility than the private, but it is more restrictive than the protected and the public. Okay, so you have a package pack, class A, void message, system.out.println, hello. There is one method called as message. Now you can see there is another package, that is package my package. From that I have imported the very first package pack and have made clear that all the classes from that pack should be imported. Since we have only one class, that is class A, only that content will be accessible. Now you have class B, public static void main, and I have created an A object there. Now, why it is going to give me an error when I am going to create the object of that? Because you can see that it is the default modifier is accessible only within the package, but here we have created entirely a different package. So since it is a very different package, then it will be given to us as a, it is not going to give you the output, and it is going to give you the compile time error. Next is the protected. The protected access modifier is accessible within the package and outside the package, but through inheritance only. The protected access modifier can be applied on the data member method and constructor. It can't be applied on the class. It provides more accessibility than the default modifier. So here we had seen that if there is a class and if there is a package inside for that particular class, that class should be extended in order to use the protected access modifier from one class to another. That is, it should be the child of that parent class. Now here when you're going to write this particular program, you're going to get the output of this message, the message method that is there in the class A. Next is public. The public access modifier is accessible everywhere. We have seen this almost so many times that everywhere we use the public class A, public void A. This can be used inside the package, outside the package, if it is inherited, or if it isn't inherited also we can use this access modifier. So let us see these things in Eclipse. Now here you can see there are two classes. One is a.java and one is a simple.java. So let us first write the content in a.java. If you see the private, so I have a private data type as well as private method. In this simple.java, I'll be inheriting this a private. I'll be creating a class of this object A. A obj is equals to new A. System.out, I want obj dot data as well as obj dot message method. Since I have created the class of, since I have created this obj, since I have created an object of this A class, it should give me the output. But let us see what will be the error. I want obj dot data should be added. Now, if we are going to run this, So can you see that error exists in this required project? I'll proceed it. I don't care about the errors, just give me the output. Now, if you see that the method message from the type A is not visible, the field A.data is not visible. Why? Because it is private, and always the private things should be taken inside here itself. Now if you have the main method here, now if you have the main method here inside the same class and see the output. Now you can see the object as well as the hello private is being printed for you, whereas whenever we used it in another class, we did not get the output. So this is how the private access modifier is used. Now let us see for the default access modifier. Now here we have two packages, my pack and one is pack. In this my pack, I have b.java, and pack I have a.java. Now inside a.java, I'll be writing one class, that is class class A. I'll be having a void message. If you're not going to give anything, then it will be considered as a default. System.out, hey default. Now, if you're going to use the same thing in this B, it was told that even if you're going to import the complete pack, if you're going to import this package and if you try to create an object and get the output, it is not going to give the output. Let us see it out. A obj is equals to new and a dot, I'm sorry, obj dot message. And if you just run this, you can see that this method message from type A is not visible. Instead, try adding it in the same package and get the output. Let us see how it is going to give the output. Instead, try it in the same package to get the output, and do let me know in the comment how you got the output. In the same way, let us see protected. So since the package has been, I'll just extend this here, extends A, and I'll save it. And this should be changed to protected. Protected. Save it. Now let us save it here as well. To create object B, so there is no error, and when you run this program, you can see hey default here as an output. Now you can see hey default. So this is how the protected is used, and we all know how the public access modifier is used. We have seen it in almost all the programs till now. Try this default using the same package and do let me know in the comment section how was your experience trying the program. Let us meet with the new concepts of Java in the next video. This is all for today's video. For the next concepts of Java,